Well, welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. You know, one of the favorite festivals that I get to go to most years is MonstrARTity, which is a fantastic event that's been taking place in Brampton and Mississauga, and its executive producer is Vikas, a guy that has been well known in the Mississauga and Peel, Toronto art community, a wonderful guy, a very smart, creative gentleman. And he's now joining us to tell us about their first virtual festival. Vikas, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today, Brian?
Very well. So tell me, obviously with COVID-19, you had to make some changes. What was that like to change everything to make it go virtual, and how's it going so far?
Yeah, it was a crazy sort of time. I think a lot of people know it's been crazy for everybody. And in particular with the festival, we wanted to make sure that, we had this huge plan for Bollywood Monster Mashup this year. And of course, then when March hit, we were like, I don't know what's going on here. And so we quickly, had a lot of meetings, a lot of deep sessions, thoughts about what are we going to do. And the first thing we said was, we're doing something. No matter what, we're doing something, because we just felt that, the community was there for us, helping us grow year after year as a festival. And so we felt that this was not a time that we should let them down as well. So once we had that in our heads, it became a plot of, okay, well, how are we going to do it? So I'm really happy to say that pretty much everything that people love about the Bollywood Monster Mashup Festival that happens in person, we've been able to translate it online. Awesome. So like, for example, a lot of families come to the festival for all the kids activities that happen. And so what we've done is, thanks to Tim Hortons, we were able to do virtual arts workshops, story time, Bollywood and Bhangra dance lessons every day at 11 a.m. for the week leading up to the big concerts. And, we've seen our friends who have kids running around their house when they don't have school, and how exhausted the parents can be. So we were like, you know what, we need to entertain the kids out there as well. So we added that to the program, and that went fantastic. And then the next thing that people expect from the festival is the concerts. So, and again, thanks to TD for helping us always do this free for the community every year. We've got some amazing talent, Canadian talent, local Mississauga talent, and of course, international acts like Arjuna Harjai, who's a great composer. He's going to be performing live from India. This would be his first Canadian performance, but he's actually going to be in India. Then the Meat Bros, who have done hit after hit, huge number of hits, they're going to be performing as well. And then we have Sunny Leone, who's going to do a performance and a live video chat as well. And then the final thing we thought we need to do is, how do we do something that can, how do we take advantage of the fact that we're going digital? It shouldn't be about just chasing the in-person festival. It's like, what can we do that would be innovative now that we're in this scenario? So thanks to OLG, we did something called the Ask Me Anything stage. And so what's going to happen is, as each performer gets off stage, they're going to go backstage, and there'll be an MC back there, and they're going to be asking them questions. And the artist will also be responding online to the comments that are happening. So for all the people, all the people who want to know, how did you get started in the industry, or what's your favorite food to eat in the morning? You can ask all those questions to every single artist that's on the show. So really hugely interactive component. So with all these elements, we were really, really excited about the festival.
Excellent. And how is it actually going to be seen?
Yeah, so the concerts, which are going to be this Friday and Saturday, July 24th and 25th, they start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they're on our Facebook page. So if people go to the Bollywood Monster Mashup Facebook page, just Google it, go on Facebook, Google, or search for Bollywood Monster Mashup, and there'll be a live link there, and you can join at 6 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time.
And we'll put a link in the promo for this radio show in our promotion as well, so you can link straight into the Facebook page.
That's awesome.
Excellent. So tell me, how did you get started with Bollywood Monster Mash and MonstrARTity?
That's a crazy story. It's a crazy story. But I'll try to give the short answer. So I know we've known each other for quite a while, Brian, and you know that I actually came from a finance background.
I did know.
And yeah, and so but the interesting thing is, before that background, I was in the arts. So I actually was in the arts, went into finance, then went back to the arts. And me leading to this is very unplanned, because really, when I went back into the arts industry, I went into doing music production, and then into film composing. And through that, then I started working with a lot of artists that were here locally, and then that led to some international artists. I did several projects with Mika Singh, who's a very, very huge Bollywood singer right now. Anyone who's listening to Saga 960 that listens to Bollywood knows who Mika Singh is. And so then all of a sudden, I was talking with the city of Mississauga, and they were sort of putting the bug in my ear that why don't you do something for the city? And I told them, well, I'm a studio guy. I don't really do live events and festivals. They kind of kept sort of asking, but why don't you? And so then in 2011, when the IFAs came to town, they asked me to submit an idea for them to consider with all the other ideas they were receiving. They liked the idea. The idea I submitted was Bollywood Monster Mashup. And the premise of it was, we want to have international artists working with local artists, so we can give the local artists a great platform to be discovered, the international artists to bring amazing world-class talent to our city. And then another thing was, we wanted to make sure it was inclusive for everyone. So the mashup idea was really central, so that every year we are working with different communities, different cultures, different musical genres. We've done projects, where we've done Bollywood Latin mashups, Bollywood Chinese mashups. This year at the festival, we're doing a Bollywood urban music mashup. So there's a lot of urban themes that people are going to see with the dance and the music this year.
Sounds fascinating. And you've done this in Celebration Square a couple of times. You've also held events in Brampton, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done, the Bollywood Monster Mashup home is at Celebration Square in Mississauga. And, but at the same time, we recognize that, political boundaries are for taxes and and other infrastructure reasons, but people don't really pay attention too much when they're forming a dance troupe. They don't say, well, if you're in Brampton, you can't be in my dance troupe. So there's a great amount of crossover between all the communities in the GTA, and we recognize that how many people from Brampton were coming to Bollywood Monster Mashup. So we also decided to start doing events out in Brampton. And right now we do have a couple of collective projects out in Brampton with some great partners. And one of the things we're doing in Brampton is we have an artist development program for Brampton artists to develop them. And this is for professional artists as well. So even professional artists need help getting to the next level of whatever that is in their career. And we've had some great artists in there. And then we also are doing workshops for South Asian seniors out in Brampton too. And so a lot of work that we're doing. And I should say, workshops for South Asian seniors here in Mississauga too. So we're not leaving anyone behind. So
Friday and Saturday from 6 until when?
Yeah, so Friday and Saturday, 6 p.m. on the Bollywood Monster Mashup Facebook page. And it's a 4-hour concert. So 6 till 10 on both nights. Everyone's got to get their food ready, order from your favorite takeout restaurant, or drive by and bring it home. Go to the washroom and take a seat, pour your drinks, and it'll be a really, really good show. That's a lot of content. And remind me, who are some of the acts I just don't want to miss? Yeah, so we've got some really cool things happening. So some of the acts that for the first time performing at the festival, our international acts are Meet Bros, and they're going to be performing with Khushbu Grewal. And then we've got Arjuna Harjai, also international act. We've got Sunny Leone, international act. Some of the fantastic Canadian acts that are performing. We've got, and I'm not going to be able to name all of them, but Bolly Heels T.O., they did a fantastic set. We have Nick Pandya, who's doing a special Gujarati music set. We've got Nritya Dance, who's also doing a Gujarati dance set. N2 is doing a Bollywood meets reggae mashup, so like chutney music and everything West Indian. Melissa Marie Dance is another West Indian dance troupe that's going to be performing. The Bollywood Monster Orchestra is doing a huge, crazy mashup of top 40 urban and hip hop rap songs mashed up with Bollywood hit songs. It is insane, and I'm so excited for that one in particular. And that has a lot of great Mississauga talent on it. Wally Shaw's a feature on that. Stephanie Braganza is on that. Shirsha Chakraborty is on that. Pratik Peters is on that. Justin Mackey's on that. NK, who's going to be doing beatboxing. So we've got Bollywood beatboxing in the show. So many cool things happening. I'm getting excited just talking to you about this, Brian.
Fantastic. I'm getting excited. I'm going to be checking in for sure. It sounds fantastic. So remind us, how do we access it? We go to your Facebook page, and the Facebook page is called?
Bollywood Monster Mashup. Just search for that, or Bollywood Mashup, and you'll find us on Facebook, Google, Twitter, everything. We're promoting everywhere. So, but yeah, head to our Facebook, join the page. And then we will make sure that you get a reminder as soon as the concert starts, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Vikas Kohli, executive producer of MonstrARTity and Bollywood Monster Mash. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Brian.
We're going to take a quick break and come back with a couple of Vikas's stars who are going to tell us a little bit about their performances. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. Well, that was a fascinating conversation with Vishal about MonstrARTity, which is happening Friday and Saturday night on Facebook Live. It used to be the Bollywood Monster Mash that would take place at Celebration Square in Mississauga, but this year is going virtual. And now we're joined by two of the people that are performing, Devin Ramatur and Shirsha. Sure. And I'm not going to try your last name. I apologize. So maybe we can start with you, Shirsha. Tell me who you are, what you do, and what you're doing with MonstrARTity.
Hi, Brian. Well, thank you for having me on. My name is Trisha. I'm a singer and a songwriter. I'm born in India, but I'm a Canadian citizen. So I've got this duality when it comes to not only my identity as a person, but also the music that I create. So I work in genres like jazz, pop, R&B, ambient, electronic, and I try to basically use my Indian classical or Bollywood influences and bring them into my music. So yeah, I've been singing for a long time, ever since I was really small. Funny enough, this Monster Mashup show, though, is the first one that I'm actually able to participate in. We were trying for like 3 years to get this together, but something or the other was coming up, so it didn't happen. But finally this year, I'm able to perform with the Bollywood Monster Orchestra, which is really exciting. The team basically puts together a group of musicians every year, and they do it differently every year. And they arrange a lot of material for us to learn, and we come together, and we are really lucky that even during these circumstances we were able to be a part of this community and like have these rehearsals very safely with lots of precaution, and yeah, we were able to put together quite an arrangement and quite an ambience. At least that's what we have in store, so we're excited to be able to perform that.
Devin, what's your background, and what genre are you involved in, and what are you doing tomorrow and Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks so much for having us here, Brian. My name is Deborah Ramatar. I'm a percussionist and music teacher. I'm also a keyboardist and steel panist. So between those instruments, I'm very occupied with music, I guess. Definitely the majority of my life. But besides that, I am an avid reader, someone who's very, very interested in neuroscience and becoming a mentalist, things along that line. And my performance is actually Saturday, the 25th. And the approach I've chosen to take is an interactive journey through the eyes of a percussionist. So I find a lot of time that well, actually, I guess this is my opportunity as a percussionist to sort of walk people through the impact and change that percussionists are able to bring through many different genres of songs. I am West Indian. I'm born and raised in Canada, but my background is West Indian, but heavily influenced. Our culture is heavily influenced by Indian Bollywood music and Indian classical music. So on Saturday, the overall ambience that we're going to be producing is a demonstration of how every instrument has its unique sound. I have an array of percussion instruments lined up. I also have a student band. I brought about 6 of my students to form a band in which every instrument will be shown and highlighted its authenticity and placement in various songs.
Awesome. Sounds fascinating. So let me ask both of you, Bollywood Monster Mash and MonstrARTity have a Bollywood and a South Asian sort of connection and focus, but it's not just of appeal to people from South Asia, right? It's an appeal to everyone. Is that not true?
Yeah, very true.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And tell us, why do you think it's healthy, important, beautiful for people to experience genres, music, percussion, performances, dance from around the world? Trisha, you talked about how you do jazz and R&B, but with your background from classical Indian. Tell me why that mashup works and why it's interesting.
Well, why it works, I guess, is a harder question. So I'll go with why it's interesting first. I think one of the best things that come out of having so many different cultures in the world is the music. And I mean, they're not actually all completely different. There are so many genres of music that stem from, say, jazz, or stem from the blues, or stem from Indian classical music, and all kinds of other types of music in the world. So I think in times that we're living in right now, I think the music industry is sort of moving towards breaking down the barriers that define genre. And this whole idea of like urban music, like urban is a genre, but it's kind of gray where the lines are. There's so much that you can fit into that. And so I think like having this harmony between genres, having this harmony between South Asian music and urban music, hip hop music, dance, it all really not only shows us that, there's so much common between us and we can always like walk with each other instead of against each other. It really, not only does it do that, it really brings us a whole different soundscape when it comes to music. It's not just, mainstream pop, it's not just Indian classical. Like when you put it together, it actually creates a really unique soundscape. So I think it's important for this show to exist, for people like Vikas and the whole team to be able to bring people from different areas together and present that to the audiences. Yeah, I think it's really important.
Awesome. Devin, how many different types of percussion are you going to show?
I have steel pan set up. I have timbales, congos, tabla, dolak, octopad, and duff. So and just to sort of lead off on the path that Trisha had started, I strongly believe that music is one of those barriers and stuff that we have. Oh, sorry, did I break out?
You did, but you're back.
Okay, no problem. So I was saying that so yeah, my instruments there are lined up, but the whole purpose behind that is to sort of show, as Trisha was saying, that music is one of those things that transcends all boundaries, and that it's actually something that brings us together as people. And why it's so important to be able to mix different sorts of genres and instruments and different types of songs and everything is because there's so many transferable skills and there's so many things that bring us together in music. And especially now, I think it's an amazing opportunity to realize how together we can be through breaking down any unnecessary and, in all honesty, all man-made barriers that sort of divide us rather than unite us.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Now, I see those drums right behind your shoulder. Are you going to play anything for us, or
if you want, I will.
Trisha, you going to sing me a verse of some song?
I mean, I could.
Excellent.
Sure.
So, Devin, you want to play something for me?
I would let Shirsha start while I get set up, if that's okay,
Of
Shirsha.
course.
If that's okay.
Okay, Shirsha, you gonna sing me maybe a verse?
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to think if I should give a sneak peek of what we will be performing, or
Yes.
if I should kind of go the other way. What do you think?
Sneak peek.
Sneak peek? All right. Okay. So what I probably didn't mention before is that this set involves all kinds of mashups that incorporate like Bollywood music and mix them up with English songs. It's exactly the kind of thing that I was talking about, which really inspired me to be a part of it this year. So one of the songs we're singing from there, I don't even have to actually say anything, I'll just sing it. आज सारे चांद तारे बन रहे हैं, डिस्को लाइट्स जल के बुझा के हमको बुला के कह रहे हैं party all night, नाता बेतुकी दिल लगी से तोड़ना जानना, आने वाले कल की फिक्र से जोड़ना जानना, जिद पकड़ के खड़ा है कम वक्त छोड़ना जानना. Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. What about you, Devin? Can you play something for us? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I was saying thank you, Shirsha, so much for giving me that minute. Okay,
No
so
problem.
now I have a little setup going, so I'll definitely demonstrate. This is just like one of the instruments I have in my setup, but definitely a very powerful instrument in Bollywood music, dholak. We have so many tekas that really bring different feels. I'll give some example of different Bollywood feels. We have a very normal Keharwa teka. Right, but also we'll know that within Keharwa, within one genre of music, there's so many beats that can change the feel entirely. For example, we have and for that
Devin,
yeah.
I think your microphone's not picking up the drum.
Oh no. Okay. One sec. Okay. Is that audible there?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Hope you heard that, but that was a little sample.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
awesome.
Devin and Shirsha, thank you so much for your little sample and for telling us a little bit about your background. And Devin, you're on Saturday. Do you know what time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. And
I
Shirsha,
believe.
when are you on?
Saturday, sometime after 6 p.m.
Sometime.
Just tune in.
So it's this is MonstrARTity, which is the online version of Bollywood Monster Mash, which is happening on Facebook Live both Saturday and Sunday. And I've been to several of the live performances in the past. They are fantastic, so I highly recommend you all check it out. I'm going to put the link in the promo to this show, so you can access it from my Facebook or my Instagram, and also from Bollywood Monster Mash Facebook as well. I highly recommend you check it out. Devin and Shirsha, thank you so much for being with us tonight. That's Brian Crombie and the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, Saga 960. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us. Take care.
Good night, everybody.